Hey guys, it's Rob here and welcome back to another video. So in this video, I don't even know where to start. I'm really excited, but also really afraid at the same time. I have never been so excited and then instantly let down within such a short amount of time. I'm excited about, GameCube. I'm excited about Wind Waker finally being on the Nintendo Switch with an upscaler, something that we were kind of wondering if Nintendo was going to do because of the patent that was for the upscaler for the Nintendo Switch 2. The GameCube controller came true, the 120 FPS came true, the 1080p came true, the 4K came true, Kirby Air Riders. I mean, there is so much to be excited for, but then it all went downhill as soon as you took just a little closer look at what exactly the prices are. So that's what we're gonna focus on today right now, and then I'm gonna make a more fun video later on. I'm probably gonna use like my character and stuff. Today I'm just trying to get this video out and then getting to the backgrounds, which I showed off during stream if you guys were in the stream. If you guys end up enjoying this video, make sure you guys leave a like. It helps the video reach more viewers when you do that, and of course subscribe to the channel for all the gaming news and all the cool stuff I'll be doing on the channel going forward. A lot of it's gonna be like speed drawings, animations, reviews, and all that great stuff. So the Nintendo Switch 2 was finally revealed, and in my personal opinion, if you take the price stuff aside, the Nintendo Direct over-delivered in my personal opinion. As someone who used to play Kirby Air Riders, the Donkey Kong game, I really wanted that coming back. We finally got a new Donkey Kong game and it looks fantastic. Of course, there's the GameCube stuff, and there's just a lot of stuff that I'm really excited for, especially when it comes to just the power of the Nintendo Switch 2. And honestly, the Switch 2 price isn't that bad. We'll get to that though, because I do have a couple issues or something I want to talk about. But the Direct was amazing, and then after that, some of the prices started to come out for the Nintendo Switch games. And some of them are high and some of them are low, or lower, I should say. The Donkey Kong game is going to be $70. Now that's here in the US, by the way. But of course, the big thing here is the new Mario Kart game. That's gonna be $90 physical and $80 digital. And in my opinion, this is extremely dangerous because we know what's gonna happen now that Nintendo has opened the floodgates. EA, Ubisoft, Sony, Microsoft, these companies, what they're gonna do is they're gonna look at Nintendo and say, hey, it's okay for them to do that. Let's do that here. And what's worse is people who pay even more than that already. Like in Canada, I think I know it's way more expensive. I heard Brazil is absolutely ridiculous when it comes to the prices of these things. And just overall, the price everywhere is gonna go up, not just in the US, everywhere. Now, there is kind of two sides, probably more sides than that, but the two main sides people always bring up, well, it could be due to inflation, and more than likely that is part of it. Personally, and I'm trying to separate like two parts of my mind, the objective mind and also just like the what I really feel mind. What I really feel is this is absolutely crappy. I hate it and I don't want it. I think Nintendo is absolutely insane for asking $90 for Mario Kart. I don't care about the tariffs. Which it wouldn't even be for the tariffs because the digital version is $80. You wouldn't put tariffs on a digital product anyways, so it can't be because of the tariffs. But I don't care about anything else. I don't care about inflation. It just shouldn't be that much, in my personal opinion. Now, of course, that's kind of the anger inside of me, but if I were to look at it without it, which is extremely difficult because it just sucks, I guess I could understand the increase in price when it comes to inflation, at least, because they used to cost around this price back in what was the Super Nintendo or Nintendo 64, one of the two. People always bring up like that screenshot of all the prices, but even then, I don't want these prices to be that high. That's just me personally, and honestly, I think Nintendo is kind of crappy for increasing the price that much, especially when a lot of companies aren't going all the way up to 90. Like, if it was just 80, I mean, I wouldn't like it. It would still suck, but it wouldn't be as bad as 90. Because what's gonna happen is it just takes that little bit, right? That little bit, just one person to get through to get away with something. Same thing happened with microtransactions. One person got away with it and then boom, now look where we are. Now, when it comes to the console specifically, so we're gonna switch over to that, the console is gonna be $450 in the United States. The interesting thing here is the bundle with Mario Kart cost $30 less than if you were to buy like the game separate, if I'm understanding it correctly. It's just cheaper essentially. So the thing that I don't get is well, I know why they're doing it. It's to entice people to buy the bundle, right? So it's clear that they can take a price cut on these games because they're doing it with the bundle. So why does it cost $90 for physical for Mario Kart? I don't understand that. The only thing I can think of is greed. It's greed, right? Or is it? Because there is another thing that a lot of people are talking about. There's one thing that I think Nintendo actually mentioned before that they were gonna try to get around, and apparently this is how they're gonna get around it. The yen isn't worth as much in Japan, so that's also affecting the price, I think. So the interesting thing here is in Japan, it's cheaper. It's about $350 if you were to, have the same price in the US. Also keep in mind, this Japan Nintendo Switch is only in Japanese. You can only have it in that language. The whole point of this is, I guess, to stop scalpers, but honestly, I would rather scalpers make it a little bit difficult to find Switch 2s and still be able to get it a lot cheaper, if I'm being completely honest. Like, you're adding $100 onto that, and it's to stop people from just buying the Japanese version and then just setting it to English. So, like, from what I understand, there's no difference between the Japanese one and the English version, or wherever you live, if you're not in the United States. It's just you can't change it to English if you buy it from Japan. And that's their way of stopping scalpers. To me, it sounds like they're just using it as an excuse to make more money off of people. And again, I'm really excited for the Nintendo Switch 2 and all the stuff that they've shown. I thought it was a really fantastic direct, and that's why it sucks so much. Like, the fact that it was so good makes the price increase even worse because it's so good. So if this is to stop the scalpers, I would rather have the scalpers take up some Switches and still be able to get a Switch 2 eventually, because it's backwards compatible, so like I could still buy the game. Well, some of the games. Some of them are Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games. And speaking of that, that's another issue a lot of people are having, including me, to be honest. The stuff isn't free for those upgrades for the Nintendo Switch 2 games. Some of them, anyways. Like the Legend of Zelda ones, I think, are free with the Nintendo Switch expansion pass. But honestly, they should just all be free. Or at the very least, the upgrades, you should be able to get like the resolution, the FPS, that kind of thing. And then maybe if you do want the extra content, then you pay the money for that. That's how they should have did it. That way, the people who already own it get the upgrade for the stuff that essentially isn't really new content, and then if you want the new content, obviously you would have to pay it because they developed that, and the development of that stuff costs money, so the money that you pay for that would pay for that development process. I think that's how Nintendo should have did it. And again, I have a whole bunch, there's so much to break down and just talk about. Not just on like the fun side of stuff, like just the stuff that's happening with the prices. The price is the main thing that's making, if it wasn't for these prices, the Nintendo Switch 2 worldwide would have been $350. And look, is it Nintendo's fault? Kinda, but kinda not. If it is due to the yen, they don't control that, but they do control the prices they set. So like, couldn't they have at least, at the very least, brought it down to 400? Like an extra 50 on top of the console, I mean, it would suck, but it wouldn't be 100, you know? And things are getting more expensive, and now the games are getting more expensive. Everything is getting more expensive. This really makes me wonder, and I don't know if anyone ever used this website. It's called Gamefly. You get to rent games and keep them for as long as you want. It really makes me wonder if more of these services are gonna end up popping up because things are getting so expensive. Because I'll tell you what, if these games end up being 90, 100. I mean, there are rumors of GTA 6. I mean, I'm not a big GTA fan, but it's gonna be $100 according to rumors. If that's the future we're heading, I'm renting all my games unless, I don't know, I'm making a lot of money to just not even care how much the games cost, which even then it's like, well, you can save that money for other stuff like bills and food, or save up for like a new car or something, you know? Like stuff that in life is better to spend on rather than games, right? Especially if you can just rent it, which I use Gamefly a lot, and I'm probably just gonna upgrade to the thing where you can game lock the game and they'll send it day one and it's guaranteed. I'm probably just gonna do that because I'm not spending $90 to $100 for a game. I'll literally rent it and then just wait for the price to go down and then press keep. But like, even if it was on sale, like Mario Kart, if it was on sale, it would be probably around like 80, or maybe probably the lowest 70. I don't know, man. This sucks. This just sucks. But that's just kind of my thoughts on some of the pricing and stuff, and some of the things like the tariffs. I don't think it's about the tariffs I really don't think that, because the rest of the world is also getting a price increase. So it's not just the US. And again, I don't really care about politics and all that kind of stuff. In fact, I completely stay out of that. Like whenever someone comes up to me or asks me, hey, what do you think about like Trump and all that kind of stuff? It's like, I don't care. That's your guys' things. You can talk to somebody else, because whenever I see somebody talk about politics, it's just one side trying to convince the other without even listening. And it just ends up in a big fight. So I just stay far away from that. Life is too stressful already. I don't need any more. So I kind of just don't care. But when it comes to like that thing about the tariffs, I don't think it's because of the tariffs. I think it's either because of the yen, because that has been a problem. Nintendo said that might be an issue. If you guys remember, we actually made a video, funny enough, and I put bad news on the title, and I saw a lot of other channels saying great news. I'm like, you guys do realize that this means that the Switch 2 might actually be a higher price, right? And here we are. And I hate that my speculation was spot on, because this sucks. You know, Nintendo has always been the more affordable platform. That's what like really irks me, is like they've always tried to make it so that it's affordable for everyone. But now it almost seems like this is something that I would expect from like EA, to be honest. I would never expect Nintendo to do this, but it just goes to show you that like these companies aren't your friends. Eventually, they're gonna do something like this, and I guess it was just a matter of time. And again, inflation, yeah, I guess people do have a point with that, but it still sucks. I mean, I'm still excited. Again, I'm still excited for all of these things. There's a lot of fantastic things to look forward to. It just sucks that the price is so high. Now, I do have to say, the fact that we can share games with people, I think that's going to be a big help with this price thing. So like, let's say you and your friend have the Nintendo Switch 2. Someone doesn't have enough money to buy such and such game. You could still play it with your friend or let them borrow it for a bit. So like the borrowing thing, I can see why the borrowing thing is going to be really helpful now. I can see why they did that. So at least there is some things to help you out. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the prices down in the comment section below. Do you think it's because of the yen, because it's a lot weaker right now? Do you think it is because of tariffs? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I might be wrong on that. I could be. But the fact that it did increase worldwide, I don't think it's because of the tariffs. Unless it is because of tariffs. But no, because again, the digital is still 80. So why would you do that, right? It's just Nintendo increasing the prices. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Next one should be a lot more fun.